Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about method overloading in Java, which is a very useful feature that helps make our code cleaner, more efficient, and flexible. What is method overloading? Method overloading is a concept in Java that allows us to create multiple methods with the same name but with different parameters. This means we can define methods that do similar tasks but accept different inputs. Java will know which method to call based on the number of the number of arguments passed and the type of arguments. Let's look at a basic example to illustrate this. Here we have three different methods. All of them are named my method, but each one has a different parameter list. The first method, notice that it takes an int as a parameter. The second one takes a float parameter. And the third one takes two double values. This is an example of a method overloading. Java will automatically know which method to use based on the arguments we provide when we call this method. Why do we need method overloading? Sometimes you may have methods that essentially do the same task but for different types of input data. Without method overloading, we would need to create separate methods with different names for each type of input. This would lead to repetitive code and less readable programs. So let's go through another example that demonstrates why overloading is useful. We have here an example without overloading. Imagine we have two methods, each designed to add two numbers, but with different types. Here's what the code would look like without method overloading. What do you notice here? We had two we had to write two methods, one for adding integers. We named the first method plus method int, and another for adding doubles. We call the method plus method double. Each method does the same exact thing. They are for adding two numbers, but we needed different method names for each data type. So this can become cumbersome when you have to write multiple similar methods for different types. Not to mention, it makes your code harder to maintain and understand. Here's how we can improve the previous code using method overloading. In this version, we're using method overloading, and both methods are named plus method. But Java knows which one to use, based on the type of arguments passed. If you pass two integers, Java will call the plus method with two integers version. If you pass two doubles, the Java will call the plus method two double parameters version. This brings advantages, which are it's more of a cleaner code, it's easier to maintain, and it's readable and less repetitive. We have the points, key points to remember in method overloading is that we use same method name. That means the methods must have the same name and they have different parameters. That means they must have different parameter lists, and this can be different by number of parameters or type of parameters. The return type doesn't matter. The return type alone does not differentiate overloaded methods. The method signature is defined by its name and parameter list, not by its return type. So, for example, this methods, if you have two methods, my method, no, my method with an integer return type and an integer parameter, and the second method, for example, is my method, the same name as the first one, and its return type is double and its parameter is integer. That is not considered an overloaded because they only differ in the return type, which is not enough. So Java wouldn't know which one to call because they both have the same parameter. So to wrap up, think of a method overloading like universal, a universal remote control. You can use the same remote to control multiple devices, right? The universal remote control can be used for your TV, for your sound system, or your DVD player, but the remote knows what to do based on the button you press. Similarly, Java uses the same method name but calls the appropriate version based on the types of data you pass in. So, this wraps up today's lesson on method overloading. It's a simple concept, but a very powerful tool that helps make your code flexible and adaptable to different input types. You can practice this by creating overloaded methods in your own projects, and you'll see how it can simplify your code.